G'day viewers, I thought I'd do something I haven't done for a while, a driving video. I specifically went out in my girlfriend's car because she's got a really deep dashboard on the car, much more so than on mine, which is quite shallow. And so the camera can sit quite stable with my Gorilla Pod holding it in place. So I probably don't have to worry about the camera sliding around. I can watch the traffic instead of watching the camera. I'm going to start this off at one of the worst friggin' roundabouts in Melbourne. I'll probably be here for ages. It's so busy just trying to catch a break. This is not me. It's not my moment. This is also not my moment. Okay. It's going to take a friggin' while. It's like Murphy's Law. I don't know how they all gang up. Here we friggin' go. Okay, we're off and running. So, we're off on the journey. And I just had this sort of impulse to do this. I had to go on a bit of a drive and I was taking the kids somewhere to a friend's place for a sleepover, which gives me a peaceful night at home tonight. It also gives me a 40-minute drive home. So I thought I'd talk to you for 40 minutes and see what happened. Stream of consciousness sort of stuff. It does let me talk about a few things that I wanted to talk about, and you also get to see me in my natural environment. People who've driven with me know my driving therapy is to go off at other people who drive like shit. And I don't mean, go road raging and threatening people. Just within my own car, I get the frustration out of my system by passing judgment on their complete lack of driving skill and questionable family lineage. Perhaps suggesting that their mother and father are also brother and sister. So there'll probably be a bit of that action, particularly as this drive starts off in the western suburbs, where there's a greater concentration of idiots on the road. It's not like they have a monopoly in the western suburbs. This is where I used to live. And so I'm speaking from bitter personal experience, sort of person around here. But I'd be very surprised if the drive went without me losing my shit at someone, and I'm sure you'll find that amusing. So, things to talk about, things to catch you up with. First things first, this is going to be a long video, and every single time I do a long video, people go, how'd you post a video longer than 10 minutes? I didn't do the real stupid voice there, although I feel about some of them, but I mean, some people simply don't know. Okay, the long history of me and being able to do videos longer than 10 minutes. In yon early days of YouTube, when you chose what sort of account you had, if you chose what they called a director account, you could post videos longer than 10 minutes. Apologies to people who've watched my other long videos, because you'll know I gave this explanation in those as well. It's just that someone will be watching this for the first time and they'll want to know. So, the original director accounts let you post videos longer than 10 minutes. The 10 minute limit was always put in place to try and discourage people from just, posting full length movies and TV shows to YouTube, because even in the early days, YouTube knew that would get them sued out of existence. So they put that limit in. So people still do it and break it up in chunks. Now, the director account, when you signed up, there was all these warnings like, don't be a dick, don't put full TV shows and movies on, or we'll kill your account. And of course, the world is full of morons who did just that. And it's the classic, ruined it for everyone, because they stopped giving out the director accounts with more than 10-minute limits. But they did not take the privilege away from anyone who already had it. So as I've been on YouTube for disturbingly close to 4 years now, I was early enough to get an account that let me post videos longer than 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure if you sign up with a director account now, you don't get that option. See, it was meant to encourage independent filmmakers to actually put their independent films up, but people were dicks with it. Obviously I have not signed up for an account in a while, so maybe you can get the more than 10-minute thing if you make a special request, and I am pretty sure if you become a partner, you're allowed to post videos longer than 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be a director account. If you're a partner, you're allowed to post videos longer than 10 minutes. I'm almost sure that's the case, but I've had it for long. So that's how I can post videos longer than 10 minutes. And as YouTube has been pushing into the HD world, they're trying to be more and more part of. Besides time, of course, there was also file size limits. If you look at some of my earlier long videos, where it's like the maximum you're allowed to upload was 20 megabytes, if I stretch my brain back and remember. So to put a longer video up and fit in that, I had to really compress it. So it kind of looks like shit now. But that was in the early days when everything looked like shit. But now with the HD stuff, I know with a partner account, the maximum file size is 20 gigabytes. How's that for freaky? It used to be 20 megabytes, now it's 20 gigabytes. If you're a non-partner account, I know the limit is much lower, 1 or 2 or maybe 4 gigabytes. But if you're a partner, the file size limit is 20 gigabytes. Which brings me to the next update. People in the know I have been talking about trying to set a record on YouTube with the longest HD video ever uploaded, and I arbitrarily said 8 hours because I worked out file size limitations, yada 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 yada. 8 hours sounds good. It's much longer than any HD video that's been uploaded, and I think I can manage that. And by HD I mean the YouTube HD. I'm going to the 720, not the 1080 DPI. That would just be crazy. Now, the long quest to get this done, first I had to be sure that my editing software could actually process an HD video of that length without cracking up. And that was a bit of trial and error, but I finally got it to actually render 8 hours worth of video without shitting itself. The next step was compressing that, because my videos editing software renders that as an MPEG that was close to 80 gigabytes, so I needed some fairly serious compression to get it under 20 gigabytes. And the compression software I was using, which is called Super, it's free software, I found it to be very handy and useful, but it couldn't handle that size video. It would crap out. And I tried a few tweaks on that and got nowhere. And then, thanks to the magic of the interwebs, via Twitter, I just kept asking people, does anyone know any video compression software? And people threw out a few suggestions, and I found a few alternatives that worked, and ended up settling on another free software, open source software called Handbrake, which handles the big files much better than Super does, in that it handles them. Super didn't handle them at all. And so finally I had that done. So I just did a test video. It's 8 hours long. It's actually the same half hour looped over and over in the editing software, but it's 8 hours in length, and I got it under 20 gigabytes, quite a bit under, as it turns out, which was interesting. So I could do longer. So I'm on the motorway now, so this should be really uneventful for about 10 or 15 minutes. Right, so I got to phase 2 of my plan, which was compressed, so it would fit in the 20 gigabyte limit, and that's now a success. Now, that's been complicated by YouTube crapping out recently I made a couple of attempts to upload the long video, and YouTube would struggle along like for a day or so, and then spit out an error. And they were doing lots of tweaks. At the time, YouTube was changing heaps of stuff. They were doing lots of little tweaks, and I figured, oh, maybe they're messing with too much stuff on their end, and now's a bad time to try. So I was giving it a rest. I'm going to try again very soon, because maybe they've settled down. So that's why the 8-hour video is not up yet, because I'm not even sure it's technically possible. Although in theory, YouTube allows me to do it. The way they've set up the file parameters, they allow me to do it, but there's no guarantee it will actually work in reality. So that's where I am now, that technical limitation. I'm going to try again. It was complicated because I found a link that YouTube now does this speed comparison thing, like compares how fast your ISP feeds out YouTube videos to the averages in your city, state and country. In effect, what this is doing is giving you a heads up if your ISP is deliberately throttling YouTube traffic. In fact, flying in the face of the principles of open internet. And it's interesting to note, my ISP, which is Australia's biggest one, Telstra, seems to be strangling YouTube bandwidth, because if I read the graph correctly, it's much slower than it is for averages in my city, state and country for YouTube streaming. And it's doubly suspicious because I've got this ultra fast broadband by Australian standards that Telstra have just released, and I've done just straight speed tests with that, and the raw speeds are like 10 times faster than competing ISPs, and yet the YouTube stream is, according to this graph YouTube put out, much slower, which really looks like my ISP is pulling dirty tricks and trying to stop people from using so much bandwidth on YouTube by making it a really fucked experience. And I have noticed of late YouTube videos taking far too long to load, and I thought that was a problem at YouTube's end because I checked my general speeds and they were fast, so I thought it was a problem at YouTube's end. But this test is kind of suggesting that my ISP is pulling dirty tricks and deliberately throttling the YouTube feed, which would really shit me if it turns out to be true, because I'm paying a fuckload of money for this high-speed stuff, and it's solely for my YouTube work that I pay that. So I'm going to be really pissed off if this turns out to be true. I think I will call their help desk. That will be painful, calling their help desk, but I might do that. So I will be testing the 8-hour video again very soon to see if it works, and if I even get an upload to work. It'll be up temporarily. I'll leave it up long enough to fully render, and I have no idea how long that will take. Given how long it takes for shorter videos, that could easily take another day from when it's successfully uploaded to where YouTube has fully processed it and made it available in HD format. Because I'm just interested to know if I can make it successfully happen. How long does it take to upload? How long does it take to become available? And how long does it take to fully process into HD? Now, if all that works, then I will get to work on editing the actual 8-hour video. And a lot of people submitted stuff because I gave an open call, essentially. Said, if you, because you know, be part of history, if you want to be a part of history, send me some video, and a bunch of people did. And I do still have all that, and I will be using it, assuming it goes ahead. And you know what? Even if it doesn't, I might, with the permission of the people who sent me stuff, just compile it all, and it'll be a shorter one, like 1 hour with all this stuff. I know I can upload 90 minutes with no drama. So I might do that if the 8-hour one turns out to fail, because people sent me some good stuff and I don't want it wasted. So that's the 8-hour video. It's facing technical difficulties at the moment. And if I overcome those technical difficulties, I've got heaps of stuff I intend to put in, and putting that in will probably take ages. Like editing it together will probably take ages. But I'll keep you posted if I get any progress on that front. That's the first big update. The 8-hour video. And it's about time for a rant. I'm going to have a little rant now. You must want a rant. And the thing that tweaked this off is when I started off having to explain this again. I always have to explain the over 10 minutes. And you know, I love you. I love you all. Bless your little cotton socks. And the comments you make and the attention you pay me, because I'm a shallow narcissistic person and I love the attention. But there is a certain cycle of comments that fucking shit me, because they're ignorant. They're just ignorant. It feels like the person hasn't taken 5 seconds to understand something or actually put their question into a search engine. But the ones that are actually about YouTube kind of shit me. Like, people think I'm supposed to know it all. Like when you first upload a video, like a high quality one, an HD one, it looks like shit when it first becomes available, and YouTube has a little thing about, this is still processing and will be in better quality later. And yet every time, almost every fucking video I put up, because they go up at slightly different times, so I end up with some of the same people being the first ones to view it, but clearly some different ones. Some people who usually don't see the video till it's been up for a couple of hours or days or whatever, and they're seeing it just after it's gone up for the first time, and they go, "Oh, what'd you do wrong? The video looks like shit." And I just feel like going, oh, for fuck's sake, do you ever go on this site? Do you know the basics of how this fucking site works? That's what happens. You fucking upload a video and it isn't the full quality straight away. It takes YouTube a while to process it. Now, I will, just a little, give people a little benefit of the doubt, because I never jump straight on and watch other people's videos just after they've uploaded them. I don't know if the message I see is also seen by other people. Like when I see my video just uploaded, I see a thing saying this will be in better quality after a while, we're still processing it. I do assume that other people see that too. Feel free to correct me that you don't see that. But I don't know, it seems like a basic fucking fundamental thing of how the site works. And it will be people that I recognise, and I'm usually not too mean, but it'll be people I recognise who watch all my videos, comment on all my videos, and they'll go, "Oh, this looks like shit. What the fuck? What camera did you use?" And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. This happens on every fucking video. Just come back in a couple of fucking hours. Holy shit. And it's just like, stop asking me how the fucking site works. I'm not YouTube. They don't listen to me. I don't know the fucking inner workings of the site. That's not an inner working, that's an outer working. Oh, the thing with comments, because I reply to comments, and yeah, with a newer video, when I get a whole bunch of video comments, so I'm replying to a whole bunch of comments, what someone sees when they come and land on the video and see it, all they see is my replies, just a whole session of my replies, and they don't see the comment that I'm replying to, because after all this time, YouTube hasn't worked out the fucking basics of threaded commenting, which is fucking pathetic. People have been asking for it since day one, and YouTube has failed to deliver since day one. They've done all these absolutely astounding things with HD and other features. Like, literally, it's easy to forget, prior to YouTube, it was borderline fucking impossible and really expensive to have video up on a website. It was really hard and really expensive, and YouTube made it easy and free, and they continue to make it better with the HD and whatnot. And so for all the site's failings, it's easy to forget that they're basically achieving the impossible. But the fact that, you know, they don't give a fuck about community-oriented things like that, they've never fixed the commenting system, which still does shit me. But, you know, acknowledging they've achieved the impossible, but that doesn't stop me getting the shits with the comments. But it doesn't shit me as much as people who apparently don't fucking know, like they don't watch anyone else's videos who bothers to reply to comments, and they say stupid fucking things like, oh, you do just spamming your own video? Fucking morons. Fuck off. If you don't know how the site works, don't fucking bother me. I don't fucking care. And in case you don't know, what you have to do to see replies in context is click on View All. But it's hardly my fucking fault that YouTube can't make the comments work, and it's really not my fucking fault that the world is full of these little gumboids who don't fucking know how the site works or fails to work, and seem to fucking hold me responsible for what the site does when I don't have any fucking control over it. So pull your fucking head in, okay? Jesus, told you I was gonna rant. These things shit me. What else is there? Other things that people say that shit me. The low quality video that eventually becomes high quality. The not knowing how the comment system works. Well, those are the big ones, in all honesty. That happens on every fucking video I upload. And it just shits me. You know, someone's going, doesn't it shit you when people go first? Well, it doesn't shit me. It is stupid. It is really, really stupid. Everyone thinks it's stupid, but people still do it. Well and good, whatever. No, it doesn't shit me because I'm not going to waste energy getting upset about that. It really is quite stupid, but it's like, oh, so fucking what? There are stupid people in the world. Well, that's almost. I'm slightly running out of steam. I think it was that big burst made me run out of steam. What else? Oh, I wanted to. This was like an update video. The other update is the amount of exciting things that are going to happen in the lead up to the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. That's in April. It's one of the big three comedy festivals. The three biggest comedy festivals in the world are Edinburgh, which probably just in terms of, you know, credibility and, you know, you've landed and you're big time. If you headline at the Edinburgh Festival, you're big time. The Montreal Comedy Festival is huge, just in terms of numbers, also because you're right next door to America. It's easy to get A-list American comics, movie stars to do shows at the Montreal Festival. And probably the third biggest in the world is Melbourne. It has a fair bit of, you know, credibility in the world comedy scene. It's probably the third biggest comedy festival in the world. And I know a lot of local comedians, and I do a lot of work with a director by the name of Adrian. We went to college together in the deep dark past, and he was a stand-up comedian, and as you'll find out, he contracted rheumatoid arthritis and about 50 million other diseases and injuries, which left him basically too much of an invalid to keep up stand-up comedy. It's quite punishing to tour as a stand-up comic, and he reinvented himself as a director, and he's freaking good at it. Like, besides being friends, I've actually engaged him on a professional level to help me with presentation and delivery and performance. As an aside, people do sort of say, wow, how do I get as good as you? One thing is practice, two is professional training. When I said we went to college, we both did a theatre degree. It's actually called Theatre Media, Bachelor of Arts in Communications. So I have a very solid grounding in that, and I've also worked very hard at the things I learned in that theatre degree. And more recently I've done work with Adrian, with him coaching and directing me. So he's one of the people that I'm involved with in the comedy festival, and he directs. He's got a few shows he's directing, and you have seen some of these people. Matt has been on a couple of videos with me. He has a show coming up, which I believe is called Advice You Shouldn't Need, and he will be coming up on my channel again. We'll be doing some more stuff in the lead up to the comedy festival. More recently, Mistress M, the sex advice lady, will be coming back. Don't you worry about that. She's going to be a regular fixture. She might even be a weekly fixture on my channel because she's so awesome. Not my girlfriend, not my wife. Emma is a friend. Mistress M is in the comedy festival as Emma Sasha, real name. The show's called Fuck, a Love Story. She did that show in the Fringe Festival last year, and is completely redeveloping it and revamping it, and just kicking it up a couple hundred notches for the comedy festival. The Fringe show was awesome. It was like sellout, huge crowds, rave reviews, people loved it, and it's just been completely supercharged for the comedy festival, and is going to be even better. That is going to be an awesome show. And so young Dave Bushell, who hijacked my channel a while ago, oh yeah, that was staged. Dave's been in a couple videos on my channel over the years, and he has a show with another guy that I think the show's called Passion of Crime, and I'm hoping to get Dave back a few times in the lead up to the comedy festival. He's busy at the moment running a comedy night in Northcote that's hosted by Ross Noble. It has packed houses because Ross Noble's the host, and all the local comedians there. A lot of people are sort of testing some material for the comedy festival and using that night as a warm-up for the comedy festival. The Playhouse at 303, I think it's 303 High Street in Northcote. It's awesome. If you're in that area, you need to check that out. That is a very good night of comedy. So there should be at least 4 shows from the comedy festival that you'll be getting teasers of on my channel. So it's Emma, Matt, Dave, and Adrian. Adrian's show is called Code Grey, and it's based on his rather extreme adventures in the medical world over the last 10 years, particularly over the last 2 years, most particularly. Adrian 2 years ago got this was essentially a flesh-eating disease, a necrotizing fasciitis. Yeah, you're going to get some of this detail. It's pretty gross. It's not flesh-eating virus. It's not Ebola. It's more deadly than Ebola. I think, yeah, like Ebola has about a 93 to 95% fatality rate. This thing Adrian has a 97% mortality rate. He had like a squillion doctors working on him. The actual cost of his treatment is in the millions of dollars. The reason they did that, besides the fact we have a good socialist health system in Australia, is it's actually extremely valuable for the medical staff to be able to treat such a rare disease, and an almost always fatal disease, as one of them slipped and said in front of Adrian when he was still deep in treatment and still at high risk, said something along the lines of, well, it's pretty cool because we almost never see this in a living person. And I was like, what? What did he just say? Because you don't tell someone who's almost certain to die that they're almost certain to die. It doesn't help. And in fact, Adrian did die twice, came back. He's a zombie! So if you ever meet him, call him a zombie, because he's come back from the dead. And I swear I've seen bits of human remains around his house. But that's another story. So, yeah, the reason I'm having these people on my channel is because they're friggin' awesome, all of them. They're very funny people, very talented people. And I am also trying to get people in the local comedy and performance scene to understand the power and benefits of YouTube. Because a lot of professional people, well, I was going to say they're a bit wary of YouTube, but they actually fucking hate YouTube. as I said, Dave runs a night that's hosted by Ross Noble, and I had a brief chat to him about what he thinks about YouTube, and from his perspective, all he sees is people stealing 5-10 minute bits of his shows, like stuff he sells DVDs, and putting up really shitty quality, out of context stuff, like maybe stuff people have shot on a camera phone or something at one of his gigs. Really shitty quality, out of context, 5 minutes bits. A lot of performing artists, comedians particularly, really don't fucking like that. They don't like having that control taken away from them. I think it's mainly that they don't understand. They don't understand the potential of the medium. It's obvious, it's very obvious to them how they can lose through the medium. And it's absolutely bullshit to say they can't. It is bullshit to say they can't lose anything. Like, you know, it's all good, it's all promotion for them, they should be totally happy. You don't get to make that call, okay? They do. Oh my God, I haven't gone off at traffic yet, but I'll just let you know, you didn't see some complete fuckwit in a four-wheel drive. I'm on the off-ramp of the expressway now, and this fuckwit decided they were in the wrong thing. And you can probably tell I'm going really slow now because traffic's almost gridlocked on this off-ramp. And they decided they were in the wrong place, and so they just cut across multiple non-moving lanes, then went over a traffic island to get over in this other fucking bit of the expressway, because they're the most important person in the universe, because they drive a big stupid fucking four-wheel drive. I hate those things. And I got distracted just then. So, artists who hate YouTube. Yeah, like I said, I had a chance to talk to Ross Noble, and he expressed quite valid concerns about it. I know I saw Sarah Silverman on one of those chat shows, and she just went off her tree about people putting up shitty camera phone bits of her things, and her concern was the shit they put up made her look bad because it was out of context, it was very poor quality, and a lot of the times people who take the trouble to construct a whole show, a little grab of a couple minutes isn't anywhere near as funny out of context as it is in context. And certainly when it's really shitty audio and video quality and out of focus and blurry and sounds like shit, people don't get into it. But I do honestly think the main problem is comedians in particular don't understand the potential power of the medium. And I'm setting myself the goal to educate them. Just starting small on the local scene, showing people, like, because I've done the hard grind for the last 3-4 years of just slowly grafting away and building an audience on YouTube to the point where it's borderline viable. You know, in all seriousness, my goal is to see this year if I can give up my day job and make the online world a full-time job. We shall see. I've made significant gains in the last year, and if I can go up by the same factor this year, then it's quite reasonable to think I maybe could give up my day job by the end of the year. My day job, for those who don't know, is, well, I'm a contractor, so my exact day job changes usually a couple times a year as I switch contracts. I work in the IT field as a business analyst, and I'm actually pretty good at it. And I've been doing it for a long time, and so as a contractor with, well, pretty much more experience than anyone else on the market, I get, you know, it's good pay. If I throw that in to concentrate on YouTube, unless there's an absolutely earth-shaking sudden change for me on YouTube, I'll be taking a pay cut. And by earth-shaking, I mean suddenly shooting into the stratosphere of, you know, hundreds of thousands, 500,000 subscribers. I would have to have that many subscribers to make more money from YouTube than I do from my day job. But to be doing something that I actually actively enjoy and get emotional and artistic fulfillment from, I'm willing to take a pay cut and build over the coming years. So I was just thinking, it'd be an interesting retirement packet. Like, you know, Geriatric 1927. I don't even know if he's a partner, if he has ad revenue. But, you know, isn't that a funny thought? Like, I'm an old bastard, so, like, you know, 20 years, if things still continue, wouldn't necessarily be YouTube, but, you know, the online world generating ad revenue from stuff. And if my audience kept growing over all that time, you know, be a retired dude, or be the real grumpy old man just going, you kids, you don't know. That's really quite weird to think about, that there might be that whole history of performance, not just for me, but for all the people who've developed an audience on YouTube. If they continue to do that, you know, over 20 years, yeah, they're interesting and weird. Okay, here we go. Piss off, you wanker. You want something I hate in traffic? Fucking wankers who try and pass you from behind, like you're changing lanes and you indicate you're changing, and the asshole is behind you, and because they can accelerate past you, they try and pass you. Oh, it fucking shits me. I don't know if I even explained that very well. Suffice to say, the guy in the car behind me, I'm looking at you in the rear view, you're a fucking jerk. But yeah, yes, my speculation. Bunch of YouTube senior citizens. That'd be pretty funny, actually. We live in interesting times. Who knows what the next 20 years is going to bring? It's a very, very interesting prospect. But yeah, who needs to plan for retirement and have superannuation and savings if you can just keep making money in your lounge room? It's a pretty fucking cool concept, actually. Pretty good retirement plan. Yeah. Worse things could happen. Be interesting. Be very interesting to say. I have to, you know, change my account name from AngryAussie to crotchety, grumpy old Aussie. Maybe. So, yes, I've digressed again there, talking about retiring on YouTube. Pretty sure I was talking about getting comedians to take it seriously. And one of the hurdles, of course, to getting someone who's a professional or semi-professional performer, like a comedian or anything similar, trying to get them to take YouTube seriously is starting from scratch is really fucking hard and might seem quite pointless. It's pretty damn hard to attract an audience from scratch now. It's not impossible, but it's really hard. So when it comes down to it, it's hard for them to see some value. So the fact I've already generated a certain volume of audience and hopefully continues to grow, can get, you know, comedians to come on. Sometimes I think it's against my better judgment because they're funnier than me. Why the fuck am I giving attention to people who are funnier than me? But it's because I like them, because I'm friends with them. And because, hey, you deserve to see these people because they're fucking good. Little side note, people do quite frequently come at me with oh, don't you think it sucks that such and such has, you know, however many 100,000 subscribers and you're way better than him? Don't you hate that? Short answer is no, for a couple reasons. Most of the people who are really big names on YouTube are at least some sort of talent. They have something there. They're not necessarily my thing. Some of them are. Some of them I think are very good. Some of them not really my thing, but hey, they clearly are for, in many cases, over 1 million people. And I say, well, good luck to them. But second, I don't take it as a, oh, that's so unfair. They have it and I don't. God hates me and all that sort of thing. I take it as a huge positive of, that's what's possible. And you can frame that really negatively and say, well, if a talentless wanker can get that, then a talented person should be able to do better. But I try not to take that negative thing. I just say, look, what those people are showing is the scale of success that is possible. And there is a huge diversity in who's popular on YouTube. You know, different ages, genders, styles, nationalities. Not everyone at the top's Asian. But the diversity is great, and it's the thing, it shows what potential there is. Like, people that are making 6 figures in the hundreds of thousands of dollars just by doing YouTube things. And I know when the New York Times ran a feature on that, it's probably a year or so ago now, the comments in the New York Times were so bitter. Like, oh, that's a joke, that's just, oh, it's a travesty when there are all these people who study and work hard for years and don't make money, and these idiots on YouTube make it. You know, how small-minded do you have to be to begrudge someone their success? You know, it's just, don't grasp over what someone else has. Take what someone else has as a positive. What they're doing is proving what's possible. So this is what I'm trying to communicate to working comedians here. What's actually possible in YouTube in terms of reaching an audience and making money, because we all need to make money, got to live. And I can kind of frustrate them is the ones that are, you know, in some cases have been working at it for quite a few years, and they're bloody good. And you know, if they performed to a room of 50 people, that's a reasonable success. And I'm sure it pisses them off if I tell them, oh yeah, if I whack a video up, it'll be viewed, you know, X thousand times, and with ad revenue, you know, I can make money, and you know, and it's got the stage where I can make $800 to $1,000 a month. Partner program revenue, and as I pointed out, there are people who are making a major success of YouTube who are making well in excess of $100,000 a year, and they get other gigs too, other TV gigs and media gigs where they make more money. And I'm sure that drives the struggling comics crazy, so I don't say it to them too much. But I am trying to get them to see the potential for them in YouTube, which is why there will increasingly be other people on my channel. First, to give you, the wonderful viewers, a bit of diversity of viewing, and second, to try and encourage these people to set themselves up as well, because I think in most cases it's well worth it. So yes, this year for me, the two targets are personal growth in audience, keep picking up the audience, and so increase the likelihood that I will be able to quit my day job, yeehaw. And the second big goal for this year is diversity and bringing in some really talented people and hopefully showing them the potential of the YouTube medium and what it can mean for them. So, interesting times, as they say in the classics. I hope they're interesting times for you too. Like, that seriously is a big part of what I'm doing. and I'm almost home, and that made me think of one other thing. So this will be my last thing. Might get a little bit ranty as I head home. I do like to entertain you, the audience. It is very much at the forefront of my mind as I do things. What will people think of this? Will they like it? Will they laugh? Will they love me? And I do want you to enjoy what I do. But this subtle distinction, possibly even slight contradiction that I'm about to say, a lot of people don't seem to be able to wrap their heads around. I'm going to try and explain it to you. While I do want you to enjoy what I do, I can't please everyone. I don't even try to please everyone. There is, in fact, one person who drives what I do, me. And I thoroughly recommend that to anyone, because anything else will drive you fucking crazy. Seriously, just look at the comments that show up on my videos and you'll see the direct contradictions between them. Like, I do something a little different. Most people, most of you wonderful subscribers, regular viewers, are incredibly supportive. Seriously, it's really gratifying. And most of you are really supportive and like it when I try different things. And I'll get all these positive comments, and there's always someone who'll go, "That's bullshit. I didn't subscribe to see that." And I don't give a rat's fucking ass why you subscribed. I don't need you to stay subscribed. It is, of course, gratifying to me when people do subscribe, stay subscribed, keep watching. But I can't fucking please everyone. It's physically impossible. And it's like, these people don't even realize, like, the vast majority of the comments, like well over 90% of the comments, well over 90%, are enthusiastically positive, and yet this fucking moron with this, and it differs who the fucking moron is, with a sense of entitlement, will do this whiny bitch comment about how they don't like what I did and I have to change it. Like, even as simple as the theme music, like I'll get, if I use my original hip-hoppy one from NSG, I'll get some people say they love that and hate the metal one that Blordo did, or they hate the NSG one and they love the metal one and only use one, and when I use the metal one they get the same thing, like they hate that, play the other one. And they don't seem to fucking notice the number of complete opposite comments. It's fucking pathetic. I can't please everyone. I can please myself most of the time, and if I please you too, that's a bonus. And I hope you keep watching, but this one, for now, is finished. Bye now.